Culture Trotters.
Today we're going to do a Q&A to answer some of the questions that people have written in about our travels and about us and things that we're up to. The first questions we have are for the kids. So Tyler in Chicago asked, how far away are you from us? Do you guys know how far away we are?
We're in Mexico.
A whole country away.
One whole country away, yeah.
Almost two, actually.
Yeah, and we're actually, I looked it up, 1,489 miles away from Chicago O'Hare Airport. Joshua from Chicago would like to know what kind of cats are here.
I don't know, but I know. They're just outdoor house cats. There's orange Monty, black and white marshmallow, a white cat, I don't know her name is, Monty's sister, which is gray.
Monica from Chicago would like to know, how far away from the equator are we? Does anyone know?
Very close to the equator.
We're not that close.
Feels
actually.
very close.
We're still far away. The equator actually runs through South America, and we're still in North America, and in between us is a bunch of space called Central America. So the equator runs through Ecuador, Colombia, and Brazil. Monica from Chicago would like to know what our favorite things about Mexico are. Alejandra, what's your favorite thing about Mexico?
Quesadillas, tacos, monkeys. Monkeys! Monkey. Oh yeah, and monkeys.
Oh,
Monkeys. Monkeys, cenote, and
Parents.
Yeah, Robert, what's your favorite thing about Mexico?
Monkeys.
The monkeys. Definitely the monkeys have been the highlight of our trip in Mexico.
So a couple days ago we discovered somebody nearby has 4 monkeys, wild monkeys that just stay around this house all the time.
One of them's a baby and she won't let go.
And we spent 2 days there visiting the monkeys and swimming cenote. And we've got a video coming up soon that will detail all of that.
Quentin in Michigan would like to know, are there a lot of bugs?
Well, I don't know how it's showing up on the video, but there's a lot of bugs right here.
The bug that we see the most that we don't like is mosquitoes. Not every time we have to put on bug spray, but mostly just in the morning and the evening. During the day it's usually fine. We're not getting any mosquito bites right now. And we do see other kinds of bugs. What else have we seen?
Ants.
Ants?
Ants. Ants and flies. And a big spider that we saw by
How big was the spider?
Watch our tour video to find out.
Xavier from Michigan would like to know, what kind of food do they eat here in Mexico? Tacos. What else, Alejandro?
Burger King.
They do have Burger King and McDonald's here as well.
And here's some food that isn't in the United States.
What?
The world's ugliest fruit.
Oh, iguanabana.
Iguanabana.
I have one in the fridge. Would you like me to get it out so you can show it?
No,
Iguanabana.
I'll get it.
Now you can have.
Here it is.
Alright, what is this fruit called?
Iguanabana.
Iguanabana. It's very ugly, but we really like it. It's delicious.
Learn more about other Mexican fruits. Watch our food tasting videos to learn about it. It's considered the ugliest fruit in the world.
Xavier would also like to know, is the food spicy?
Some of it, salsa is very spicy.
Salsa can be spicy.
And most of it is really spicy, except for the Mayan food.
The traditional Mayan food is not very spicy, and even the Mexican food here is not as spicy as it would be in other parts of Mexico. So here they eat a lot of pork, chicken, and fish, not so much beef, and it's not super spicy. Sometimes things are a little bit spicy, but mostly I can handle it.
Mexico's a really big country. We lose sight of the facts sometimes, but it's a big country, so the differences between different parts of Mexico are pretty stark. Some parts of Mexico have Mayan ancestry, and some have Aztec ancestry, and some have other ancestry. Very large differences between regions. And one of those is how spicy the food is.
And Xavier would also like to know, do they eat chocolate-covered ants here?
No.
Do you eat chocolate-covered ants?
No.
Do you eat chocolate-covered ants?
No.
Yeah, we have not seen any chocolate-covered ants. I do know that in other parts of Mexico they eat crickets. And we were actually watching a video on the bus of people eating crickets, but we have not tried them because they don't have them here, or at least we haven't been offered any. And no chocolate covered ants. We have seen worms in tequila and scorpions in tequila, but we haven't tried those either.
That was gross.
All right.
I think you're passing out from the chocolate covered ants.
Steve Pierce from Virginia asked, do the monkeys wear diapers?
No. That's...
Normally, no. However, this family that we met, this couple we met, that basically had 4 monkeys adopt them. One was a very young baby. And when the baby was in the house, they would put a diaper on the baby because it didn't know any better. But now that it's several months old,
It's 6 months old.
it goes outside.
Are you guys reading any good books during quarantine?
I've been reading Order of the Stick books and Big Nate books for when I went into myself and such. And now that we got here, Dr. Seuss books for when, it's reading time. Miss Piggy would read. I read these bacon and cupcake books.
And
You
what
mean everyone loves bacon and everyone loves cupcake?
And what have we been reading as a bedtime story?
Charlotte's Web.
Trying to I'm rereading the Dresden Files and finishing up the Iron Druid.
I've been reading The Power of Positioning and a creative thinking book by Felicia Day.
I'm that.
Have you learned any new skills during quarantine?
I can do a handstand up.
What did you learn to do with that hammock rope?
I've learned to jump rope. I've improved my swimming skills.
Dad, have you learned anything new during quarantine?
I can now dunk the children 18 different ways.
What about your drone?
Oh, I'm not a natural drone pilot.
It's on me. You actually knocked it out on a tree backwards.
I did knock it down on a tree going backwards.
Hey, it's still
But
alive.
no damage, it's still up and running, so we're going to keep practicing.
Maybe as a...
We'll get some video at some point.
I have learned a little bit of Yucatan cooking from a cookbook. It's not a new skill, but I've been practicing my yoga and working on some new things in yoga. Krista in Chicago asked, how do we decide whether food is safe to get or unsafe to get when we're shopping in the markets or whatever? We have never had any bad food, so everything we've gotten at the market, whether it's chicken or vegetables, has been fine. It's been great. The one time we got food poisoning was from getting food that was already cooked, that had been recommended to us actually by our Airbnb host, and we'd seen tons of people getting food there. Everyone loved getting food there. It was in the market, but it was cooked chicken, like shredded chicken, and the 3 of us ate it. Alejandro did not eat it, and we all got food poisoning. Robert got the worst food poisoning because he ate the most of it.
I did.
The rest of my chicken sandwich and got up in the middle of the night and ate all of it.
Yeah, so we haven't really experienced any issues with food that would be any different than in the U.S. Like occasionally you get bad sushi, something like that in the U.S. Same thing here, but for the most part the food has been pretty clean and healthy. The next question is, what kind of things have you had to adapt to in Mexico that are different from the U.S.?
The heat.
The heat, yeah, humidity and heat and bugs.
Speaking more Spanish.
Yes, speaking Spanish. I would say the metric system. It's been a little difficult for us. At first I thought gas was like this great price, and then I realized it's in liters. And cooking in the oven I'm cooking in Celsius, and often the ovens aren't even marked. To this point, every oven we've had has been propane. And so you're just kind of guessing what you're cooking at, what temperature you're cooking at. It all has seemed to work out.
Spanish is always the hardest, is the most pervasive. Even shopping, you're trying to look up what things are and looking for ingredients is amazing. And just talking to people, the simplest things. Like nouns we're good at, but beyond that, or anything you're not sure of what it is and you're trying to get information about it, it's hard to do that nuanced communication.
There's this thing like when you see someone they often say like buenos dias. So you say buenos dias back, or maybe you initiate it, buenos dias, and they immediately think you speak Spanish and just, yeah, just start talking to you over. And then, of course, our next response is, what do you say?
Poquito español.
Poquito español. And
Español poquito.
luckily, there's a lot of people that speak English, so that helps, and we're doing our best to learn Spanish.
Now, they've been great. For the vast majority, people have been very helpful, very understanding. They work with me, trying to understand what I'm saying and trying to be helpful. I've had a couple people that kind of blew me off, but just very rare, very rare.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful experience. And that's in the small towns we went to or the big cities.
Yeah, I have to say, which is one of our questions, what is our favorite thing about Mexico? And I would definitely have to say the people. The people here, when you go to other countries as a tourist, some countries aren't always fond of foreigners being in their country, and Mexicans seem to love us and are always warm and welcoming and helpful. The question is, what will you do if things continue to be shut down and we can't travel?
Well, same thing everybody else. We're going to be stuck not traveling.
Yeah, we're stuck not traveling.
We love this place, Camp Acamal. So we may stay here longer, but otherwise we'll travel within Mexico. You can still travel within Mexico. It's just a matter of finding places that aren't too locked down.
How do we homeschool the kids while traveling? We were lucky in that our children have always been homeschooled, so we've always had a routine that we do to homeschool.
It's a very loose definition of the word routine, but yeah.
We've had to downsize on materials, so we don't have a giant craft box we're taking around with us or a bunch of books or supplies. So some things have switched to being online, but mostly we get up in the morning and one or the other of us will start doing work with them. Robert's in charge of math. They have journals that they write in, so those are things that they might start the morning in. And we're usually done with schoolwork by noon. Traditional school in the States does about 180 days a year, which is half the year of school. So if we're doing schoolwork every other day, year-round, we're keeping up with traditional schooling. So some days they don't have to do schoolwork. Some days we go swim in a cenote and play with monkeys.
If you have any more questions, please put them in the comments below.
All right, go ahead.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week. Bye.
All right, good?
Good.
My sister wanted to know what my workout routine was.